All right, members, today we're going to talk about how to create the thank you ad to be able to send an advertisement just thanking the people who have either opted into your giveaway or have actually purchased a product from you, signed up from a service, whatever it may be. It's going to be a great way to get this thank you message in front of the people to let them know that you appreciate the actions that they've taken. Now, if you're looking at the screen right now, you're going to see the completed page, meaning that this is going to be the page that only the people who have purchased the Do Whatever It Takes Academy are going to see. And if we go ahead and we look at the pixel that we have purchased we can identify how many people have landed on this page by the purchase conversion, okay? So what we want to do first is we want to be able to take this URL and we want to be able to copy that and put that into our custom audiences. So inside of your ads manager, you're going to be having the option to choose audiences. If you don't see it in the frequently used, then just go to all tools and you're going to go ahead and see it inside of the assets column. You want to choose audiences. And then from there, what you want to do is get to this page. You're going to see the blue button. It's going to say create audience. You're going to go to custom audience. And once you get to this point, it's going to say you want to choose the website traffic. And then from website traffic, you just want to make sure it's your pixel, all website visitors, or you could do people who visit specific web pages. Okay, so this is where we would want to have specific web pages, or you could even do it by these. So you could do completed registration, okay, or you could do purchase, right? And so since we're looking for the purchase, let's do purchase over the last 60 days and we can refine it. So you can use your URL parameters, which we'll go into further details about that. That's a little more complex, a little more advanced. So we'll go into that in later trainings. But for right now, just keep it as the purchase or whatever the event you want to track, or you could do it by specific URLs. We're going to use the pixel installed on our confirmation page that I showed you a second ago, and we're going to go back 60 days. And now we're going to say, okay, the name of this audience is going to be Purchased Academy, and let's say last 30 days. And now we're going to go to create audience, okay? Now when we go to create audience, this is going to be used, like this is done now, okay? It's going to be creating the audience in the background, and this is going to be what we want to use inside of our advertisement. So now what we can do is we can actually find new people that are similar to those existing users, which is a great thing, because what Facebook is going to do is it's going to allow the algorithm to start to really do what it should to help you optimize your advertising. This way they could find people who are looking just like the folks who had actually purchased from you to be able to create an audience that looks just like them that we could start running ads to get them into the academy. Okay, so what we could do next is once this audience gets created, we'll come back in here and we'll create a lookalike audience based off of the people who purchased in the last 30 days, okay, or 60 days or whatever we put up there. So then we go done. And don't worry about this right here. Every time that you do it, it's going to come up audience too small. Give it about 2 or 3 hours and you're going to see it turn from red to green, and it's going to give you the number of people that you have inside that audience. You can see that we have some that are, 800, we have some that are 34,000, we have, some that are 3.4 million. So it really just depends on where it is, but this is going to change after about 2 hours. In the meantime, while we're waiting for that to get created, we're going to go to your Power Editor. Inside your Power Editor, what you want to do is create a new campaign. The new campaign is going to be called Thank You Campaign, okay? Oh, Thank You Campaign. And that's going to be a conversion campaign, because what we want to do is we want to be able to put people in to a thank you page, basically saying, hey, here's an ad for you that's going to be able to just thank them for what they're doing. Okay, so it could be, you could create just a post and do a page post engagement if you want. You could do conversion, you could do traffic, but what we want to do is actually send them to a page that just says, did you know? And then what we would create would be called an offer wall. And what the offer wall would be, it would allow people to see exactly what products you have to serve, what services you have, how they can get a hold of you, how they can schedule new things. Maybe in this case, or in this instance, we might create a page that says, okay, well, here's the schedule for this upcoming month. It might say, here's how to schedule a pop-up, here's how to schedule for your panel, it might be just a jot form. We might be able to do so many different angles to be able to say thank you for this. But the point of the ad is just to have an ad running through their feed that's going to say, hey, thank you for purchasing. Here's some other cool stuff that you might find interesting. And so if we were looking for an opt-in, then we would do it as a conversion campaign if we're looking for opt-ins. If we're looking for just to send traffic there, then let's do it as traffic. And then we would say the ad set name. Okay, so this would be Purchased Do It Academy. Okay, and then the ad name would be name of image. So if you're actually like using an image, then use an image of, identify this ad as image and then put the name of the image. If it's an image of you, put like image and then your name, image 1, image 2, image 3, because you're going to be testing these things as more people purchase your products. All you have to do then is just save the draft, and then we're going to get into the actual ad. The ad set now is going to be pretty easy to get done, okay? Because we already know that it's going to be marketing to people who have already purchased. So we want to get it off of Instagram, get it off the audience network, get it off of Messenger, click the drop down for Facebook, and then get rid of instant articles. You can run a different test for feeds and right column. What we see is if somebody's already purchased from you and they see your ad on the top right column of their desktop, they're most likely going to click through it just to see what's going on. So we use right column ads for retargeting purposes. We do not use right column ads for cold audiences. So we're going to keep this inside the feeds of Facebook on all devices and within the right column. Then we're going to go down and we're going to make sure that we have our daily budget set. I usually do not send or create a schedule end. What we do is we'll just let it run for a few days, and we'll keep our eyes monitoring it, making sure that it gets served to everybody who's been pixeled. You could do that by checking out the frequency within your ads manager data. So from here, we're not going to send an end date. Now the custom audience, you're going to see that it's going to, here we go, right here. Okay, so again, like I said, the thing that we want to do is just let this populate, but you can actually do this. This number is going to grow when we click on this, because what's going to happen is it's still propagating is what it's called. It's still taking time to actually form the audience. And so what we want to do is just choose that, and we want to then wait for it to basically populate with the audience that we were looking to pixel and set this retargeting ad to. Now what we want to do is, if you have people outside the US, which we have people from Canada and United Kingdom that are also inside here, and then what we want to do is make sure the age range is through the age range that you're actually marketing to. You don't really have to mess with this if you don't need to, because what we're doing next is pretty cool. We're going to be able to say that we know that Facebook is only going to serve it to the people who purchased the Academy in the last 30 or 60 days. And from then, we don't have to add anything in the languages, and we don't have to add anything in the detailed targeting. You could leave those blank because you've already told Facebook who it is that you want to market to. Okay, and now what we want to do is, you could either save this audience or not, doesn't really matter. You have link clicks, and you could do landing page views. We always do link clicks when it's something as simple as this. This is just a basic thank you ad, so you don't have to get too complex with it or anything like that. And now your ad set section is done. You go to your ad now, and here's where you want to make sure that your page is set up to where it's the page that you own, that you want to run the traffic to. Then we could either use an existing post if you put this on your post, but we don't want to do that because we want this to be a quote unquote dark post. We don't want to have the thank you ad on our business page, or the thank you post on our business page. We want to make it to where this is an ad being served from our page without it having to be a post on our page. And so from here, we're going to use the ad with an image or video option. We're going to come down to select an image, and just for sake of time, let's just use an image like, let's see. We have quite a few that we could choose from. Pretty simple. Let's just go with this one. This one's pretty decent, right? So then we have that. Now the URL, this would be the URL that you want to actually promote. So this would be the page within your site or your ClickFunnels or whatever it may be. Let's say that we have northwicksconsulting.com. Okay, and you could always preview the URL if you want, and we're good. Okay, now this of course is going to be the page that you want to run to the thank you ad. Okay, and you could then use a display link option if you wanted to. Unnecessary a lot of the time, because it has to actually take them to the destination that this URL is taking them to. If you choose a different link, meaning that if this link up here in the website URL is different than a display link, it's going to kick it back, and it's not going to be able to give you, it's not going to be approved. So Facebook does not like that. You do not want to make Facebook mad at you, okay? And then we would just go into the text, and it'd be like, hey, or, do it members, or new do it member, right? New do it members. Thank you for coming on board, and we look forward to helping you reach all your business goals. Remember, you have so many opportunities to get the personal help you need just by being an active member. We are thrilled to have you here and look forward to working more with you. To check out all we have to offer in the calendar for the month, click the Learn More button and you can schedule your first pop-up or your members panel session. That's it. Very, very simple. Very simple. And then there we go. And as you could tell, my spelling is impeccable. Gotta love spell check, everybody. Okay, so very basic ad. Lets everybody know, new Do It members, thank you for coming on board. We look forward to helping you reach all your business goals. Remember, you have so many opportunities to get the personal help you need just by being an active member. We're thrilled to have you here and look forward to working more with you. To check out all we have to offer in the calendar for the month, right? Click the Learn More button and you can schedule your first pop-up or your members panel session. And then headline, and then it would be something to remember or get the most from. Here we go, that's probably better. And this is just on the fly. Get the most from Do It Academy, right? And then we'd have a link description. Thank you. And make sure to schedule your first members panel session today. All right, and then you always want to spell check that bad boy. Always want to spell check that bad boy. Now we're good. You don't have to worry about anything else down here. You don't have to worry about anything that's going on anywhere else. We have a solid ad that's just basically saying thank you. Now, one thing we might want to do is actually make this a little bit all caps. New Do It members, and now we want to pull them in a little bit more that way. And now the image that I'm using here, of course, I would use a better image, but for sake of time, use whatever image that you have, but you want to test these things, okay? Have something that's going to be able to draw an attention, maybe a big thank you across the board, maybe have it designed by one of the designers if you need to. You can create it in Canva, whatever it is. This was just for sake of time, but as you can tell, now we have a thank you ad going out to the people who have purchased our product or signed up for our service in the last 30, 60, 90, 120 days, whatever you want to do it for, giving them more information. And this is where you can help upsell them, okay? Because what we want to do now is launch this bad boy to make sure it's being served to the right people. Now, like I mentioned before, we want to make sure that the audience has already been established. So going back and forth, refreshing the page, making sure that the little red dot goes from red to green. And then you want to launch this. So you might want to schedule this out for, say, the next morning, maybe a few hours later if you want to do that. And the way to do that is just by coming back to your ad set, and you could then schedule it out. So you might want to say, okay, I want to schedule this out today, but at 5 p.m., okay, or something like that. Or tomorrow at, let's say, 6:30 a.m., okay? This way, you can give it enough time to be able to get your audience in line so that when it does go ahead and serve, it's ready to go, okay? So if you're not using thank you ads just yet, make sure that you get to it right now, because the moment that you have people opting into your giveaway, thank them for it. Create an ad that says, hey, thank you for picking up the giveaway. Here's something else that you might find interesting. It could be an article, could be a video, it could be a video series, it could be a webinar invite. There's so many different ways for you to do this, because again, that's the warmest market. Okay, the people who are opting into your page or are purchasing from you, give them a thank you ad that says, hey, I appreciate you for doing what you just did. Here's some more cool stuff that can help you get better results. All right. So if that doesn't make sense, make sure to go ahead and send us an email back. We can help you get through it, or schedule your first pop-up session so that we can get you on there, but to go through this with you. But for the most part, it's plain and it's pretty simple, right? You take your URL from your confirmation page, whatever page that is, whether it's the sales page after they opt in or the confirmation page after they make a purchase. Then you're going to go ahead and go into your ads manager. You're going to create your custom audience. Then you're going to go into your power editor and you're going to create your thank you ad. And you're just going to follow the steps that I laid out for you here today. I promise you that when you do this, you're going to see a very good response from the people who have purchased from you. They're going to like it. Now, again, you're going to have a small audience at first, which is totally okay. But getting this back in front of those people who have purchased you will increase your lifetime value of your customer. It's going to help build that trust, that credibility. And people are going to look at that and go, wow, I don't see these thank you ads. I just don't see them. Not many people do them. I mean, there's a lot of marketers online right now, and I don't see many of these either. It's going to give you an unfair advantage, which is something that we always want to leverage. So make sure to get started on this right now. If you have any results or anybody that's purchased or opted in, get this thank you ad started right now, and then come back on the next video. Can't wait to see you there.